r/AskReddit, you're obligated to go to a job interview for a position you don't want. What's the best way of blowing the interview without being obvious about it? The moment you sit down, ask how many sick days you're technically allowed to take before they start deducting vacation days. Show up underdressed and also start complaining about the hours. Try to sell them something. Cosmetics, Tupperware, vitamins, doesn't really matter what. I would say get some beers before the interview, but I've done that and still gotten the job. It's not foolproof. Is the building within 500 feet of a school zone? Talk about how the job is just about the money for you. Ask the interviewers about accommodations for time blindness, because that's what you suffer from these days. Keep doors open, it's a small world, and industries can be interconnected. You never know when your paths might cross again, so it's wise to leave a positive impression by declining the interview respectfully. Ask if you can go potty or tinkle. Maybe pass gas and say I tooted. Show up late and disheveled. Edit, with Starbucks. Wait until the interviewer glances away for a second and sneakily pick your nose. Really get in there. When they ask what your biggest flaw is, say being on time. And you usually need to take a 15-minute nap around 3. Sneeze into your hand and stick it out for a shake. Go in and act professional. Ask a few questions. And if your mind isn't changed, then just be honest and say this position does sound like a good fit for me at this time. Stand up and shake their hand as look them in the eye. Why would you demean yourself? If you don't want to work there after the interview, still act professional. Be the class act that you can see yourself being. This screams, employment insurance is making me do this interview and I don't want to work, but they'll cut me off if I don't go. Why would you ever be obligated to go to an interview for a job you don't want? That's wasting your time and theirs. Tell the interviewer you had an inappropriate dream about them. Immediately ask if they offer any healthcare benefits and how the work-life balance is. It would seem to just be myself. Start talking about extreme politics like you're talking about the weather. Inconsistent answers. You graduates college. You're still in high school. You're applying for a master's. Your last job was a 2-month thing from April to August. Take it out. Burp and fart uncontrollably. Sit down, look one of the interviewers square in the eye and ask how their daughter is doing, then add on the sleaziest wink you can muster. Allow Spud to show you how. I'm not sure I understand the situation, why burn the bridge? You don't have to put maximum effort into it, but you never know who you might encounter later in the profession world. Just consider it practice. Ask for more money than they will agree to. Worst case Ontario, you get paid a shit ton. I don't understand how would someone be obligated to go. I would simply cancel my interview by email at least 24 hours before if I can. But, if I had to fail an interview without being obnoxious about it, my lack of care for the job would show up. Give boring cliched answers, show how little research I've done. Say you didn't get much sleep due to nerves, then sleep rest of the interview. Haven't you ever seen Big Bang Theory? You go in and tell the interviewer that you only came because your friend intimidates you. The interviewer confesses that she intimidates him as well. Then you take the job anyway because for someone so small, she sure is scary. Rolling on the floor laughing. Honestly, some version of this. If you really don't want to waste their time, just email them in advance. If you have to show up, just say that first out the door. Just say I'm actually not interested in this position, but you know how Sarah is. I don't think they can legally discuss it with Sarah afterwards. If after hearing this they're still desperate to hire you, hear them out, it might be worth your while. How many breaks do I get? Why did I leave my last job? Slept with one of my employees, but that was all politics. They really wanted to get rid of me for theft, but they couldn't prove anything. And they didn't like that I'm smarter than they are. How much washing up do you think could do without any washing up liquid? As a small business owner, if you have no interest in the job, just call the company and tell them thanks for the invitation to interview, but I don't think this is the position for me. Don't waste my time interviewing if you have no intention of pursuing the job. Price yourself out of the running. Suggest you would expect way more than the job really pays. Contractors sow this quite often. Smoke a little weed. Take some speed and then. https://www.youtube.com/watch v=outmg74rhcw. Ewan Bremner in Train Spotting has got you up. https://www.youtube.com/watch v=cvp9rkf3 hag. Why not treat it as a learning experience for yourself? Try asking new questions of a potential employer. Salary negotiation is a skill which needs to be developed, etc. Don't waste the opportunity. Slide across a calendar with most of the days of summer blocked out. Warn them that you're a recovering pathological liar. I haven't relapsed in 6 days. 0 days. I lied about being punctual. My mom dropped me off because I missed my last interview. She won't call you though, I promise. You just want to keep collecting unemployment checks, aren't you? I'm self-employed. When I have an opportunity I'm not keen on for whatever reason, client seems like a jerk or the job is going to be a pain in the ass, I ask myself, how much would it take for me to want to do this? I then sell myself and my service like I would any other time, but I ask for the inflated price. So go in there, sell yourself like a mother and then tell them how much you want. Worst case you get a job paying you more than you thought. Smell very bad. If I ever become well off enough to have spare time and a hobby, then this will be it. Do you drug test here? Why did the last person in this position leave? What is the turnover rate here? Do you have a union? I could go all day. Just do it like normal and reject the offer, might as well get more practice. Tell the interviewer that it must be a good job if they're willing to drive in traffic to get there, and then ask where they live. But keep asking where they live and to be more specific. I did this once. Did not get the job. If the question is asked, why do you want this position, reply with, I see this position as a stepping stone for a better position within the company. Every team leader or manager starts seeing you as a liability for the team, but you probably won't be hated as you clearly shown interest in the company. This job isn't within 1,500 feet of a school, is it? Ask about the pay. First thing. Hi, I'm Joe Smith. What is the maximum starting pay for this position and what other benefits do you offer above that? You'll fail on doesn't fit the culture almost every time. Unless you are insanely qualified and they are desperate to fill the role. I wouldn't blow the interview. You're under no obligation to accept a job offer, just say you already accepted another position. Deliberately blowing an interview could come back to haunt you later when your new boss and that guy turn out to be golfing buddies. It doesn't matter if you do well or poorly. If they offer you the job but you don't want it, just decline it and tell everybody else you didn't get the job. Lie about having a felony conviction. That'll kill it pretty quickly most places. Easy. Just say your salary and leave expectations. Actually happened to me and I just pretended to be an idiot. They said they would contact me about the position and neither of us ever contacted each other. I once put someone I knew down as a reference and they sent the employer an awful reference that made me look really bad and unstable. Shoes. Wear flip-flops or some scuff sneakers. Man, I totally made fun of a guy I heard a rumor about during a casual interview. The rumor was a guy in the same industry I was applying for had married his first cousin, not Alabama, and they had kids together. Turns out, that this person was actually the person interviewing me. I was certain I screwed it up. I still got the job. Moral of the story, you really don't know how they will react. Show up about 2 minutes late, sprint from your car to the interview, then tell them your favorite hobbies are YouTube and Legos. Start asking hypotheticals about their sexual harassment policy. Like, hey, so theoretically if I walked up to that woman over there and slapped her ass, would that be allowed? You don't even have to do anything, just being the kind of person who would seriously ask that would be enough to get them to quietly throw away your application. I legit tried blowing the interview with my current job. Tried to act uninterested, it's insurance, etc. I was on a contract break, required by state law, for 2 months from my previous job, but still had to apply at other jobs to keep unemployment going. I ended up being offered the job. Then COVID hit, so been kinda stuck with them for 3 years. Finally might have a new job lined up though. One word answers, no elaboration, show up smelling of bow and slash or hangover and late. Ask if they drug test and if you fail, if you can retake it another time. Also, what kind of drugs are tested and what do they look for in background checks? I was asked this while leading an interview once. Faced with tears of joy, it was a hard pass for me. When they ask where you picture yourself in 5 years, say hopefully laid up with some work-related injury. Be blunt and honest. If they hire you, take the job. Ask them what tool they'd like to have if locked in a basement well. Then let them know you've recently found a well pit in your basement. Then, show them pictures. Talk about your dog and ask if they want to get lunch. I would really try to get it, for practice. If they make an offer, ask for stupid pay. Don't put your phone away, and when you do eventually, put it face up on the table or even still turned on. It shows a significant lack of interest. Ask for more than they are offering. Work the salary discussion in early and have unrealistic expectations. Facial spasming. You don't have to blow the interview, just don't answer if they try to contact you for the job. Y'all don't drug test, do you? Just be yourself. Why not just interview and decline it if you get the offer? Oh, because you're scamming unemployment benefits. Fuck right off. I would say just fart in the middle of the interview and that will make you not get the job. Yawn a lot and don't apologize for doing it. Ask for a starting salary 15K higher than market value. Just be normal. This whole thread reminds me of the scene from Step Brothers where they are blowing their job interviews on purpose. Loudly crying face, loudly crying face, loudly crying face. Ask if they test for drugs. I would never purposely blow the interview. I would use this as practice for the job I do want. Then, respectfully decline if offered the position. So, how strict is your sexual harassment policy? What's your sexual harassment policy? Silent but deadly. Do the interview as normal, and do it so well, they'll hire you on the spot. They go to shake your hand, then at that moment, you look them dead in the eyes, and say no thanks and walk out. You got their hopes up, wasted their time, and maybe left them a little confused. Have you thought about just telling the interviewer straight up what the situation is? Apologize for wasting their time and ask that they be discreet about it. Alternative ULPT title, How to Continue Collecting Unemployment Until the Legal Maximum. Don't go. Don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. Don't be that guy. Grow up and be honest, transparent, open, and respectfully decline the position. Lie about your qualifications, but not in the usual way of inflating them, but deflate them or don't mention them at all. If they ask you if you've done X, and you have, tell them you haven't, that sort of thing. I'd just go through the interview like a professional, and turn down the offer if it was extended. Forget to wear pants. Honestly, just give one-word answers to their questions or just be as vague and uninvolved as possible. Why would you be obligated? Try to secretly remove boogers from my nose, then glue them under my chair. The interviewer will probably notice but will be too embarrassed to say anything about it. Set the expectations in a way that the job would work for you. If you work best with no supervision, say that. Need a 4-day work week. Make it a requirement. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe to never miss an upload.